After the Civil War, everything in the United States, what we call America, the American people, they were basically conquered at that point through the 14th Amendment. I'm not going to get into all that right now. But everything was basically put into a trust for you because you're considered like a newly freed black slave. But we're considered invalids, basically. And so they put everything into a trust until you become, 18, and then you should be able to go and go out on your own. But they didn't tell you how to do that, basically. And how you do that is because they've created a fictitious corporation out of your name in all capital letters, your name in all capital letters. Look at your driver's license, your checkbook, anything you get from any corporation. It's going to have your name in all capital letters. That's the corporate fiction, because the United States government, what we call a government, is actually a corporation. And that happened through the Act of 1871. There is no constitution that really applies to you and me except for anything above the 14th Amendment. That you are, we're basically chattel death slaves on a plantation. The United States is the slave management company for the Crown Corporation, which owns the United States Corporation. And the whole thing is run through the International Monetary Fund. Also, security numbers are issued through the International Monetary Fund via the GATT Treaty and the North American Free Trade Agreement. So you're not even really a U.S. citizen. You're just kind of a corporate, you're just a person out here who has a corporate fiction doing business. But because when you were 18 you didn't take control of your corporation, the government still has control over it. And they're bankrupt. And in order, they're what's called statute merchants. In order for them to collect, tap into your trust to pay the money back that they're borrowing from the International Monetary Fund, they create what's called statutes and codes, or bills. They're billing you. Everything is basically like you're paying for your indulgences, like the old Catholic Church. Everything is against the law. Everything is illegal. That's why you need a license for everything. But the license is given to give you authorization by the king to do something that would otherwise be considered illegal, like getting married, driving a car, selling real estate, whatever. Anything you need a license for. Nowadays you need a license to pick up trash, I think, or to babysit a kid. Everything is illegal in this country. And why is that? It's because through their statutes and bonds, again, they are statute merchants. And what does that mean? It means anybody can buy a statute from the United States government. And they take those statutes, and based on whatever the actuaries are, what they think they're going to get people billed for, which means police have to get involved at that point and write you a ticket or arrest you or for any of these statutes and codes. And then they issue bonds based on that. But I'm not going to get into that right now. What we're going to talk about right now is, because you never took control of your Strawman Trust Corporation, it's considered abandoned property. So what would you want to do to get that back into your public life? You could file for your trade name, which file your name in all capital letters as your trade name, and then file a UCC1 financing statement. So how do you do this? Step number one, you want to go to the website of the Secretary of State. This is not illegal, folks. Don't get scared. It's not, you're not doing anything. Ooh, they're going to come after me. No, it's perfectly legal for you to do this. Okay? Just go to the website of your Secretary of State, whatever state you're in, and you want to pull off an application for a trade name and a UCC1 financing statement form. Boom, it's right there. You'll find it. You go, wow, this guy's not bullshitting me. He's actually telling me the truth. Yeah, go in there and get it. Fill out the application for your trade name and send it to the Secretary of State along with whatever filing fee, and be sure and mark a person for the section of what kind of business it is, because they'll get confused if you don't. And if you're having problems in the state filing this, let me know, because there are ways to get around it. So what else? What will you do? You want to fill out your UCC1 financing statement next. is attach your trade name certificate to it, as well as a copy of your birth certificate. And you need to get a copy of your birth if you don't have it as soon as possible. And if you don't have the number, the red number with the A through L on the back of your Social Security card, you tell them, this is what I would do. I would tell them I lost it and go down and get a new one. You're allowed 10 over your lifetime. Each one is going to have a different bond number on the back. And you want to use those. They're yours to use. Because you are an adult now. You're taking control of you're not an invalid. You are abandoned. And you were dead. You were stillborn and you were dead. And that's why they killed you, and they put everything into your, you went into probate, which is your trust, little trust account that you had, your portion of whatever we have, and was put into a trust. And that's what the police are trying to do when they write your ticket. They're trying to tap into that because you're in probate, you're dead. Like when someone dies and their account, if they don't have a will, a living trust or whatever, a living will, the court will take command and it'll go into what's called probate. And anybody that can come up within I don't know, I think they put it in the newspaper, if you have a claim against this, go ahead and file your claim within 6 months to a year, or however long you're going to be on probation. File your claim, and based on that, you as the trustee should be able to go ahead and write them a check for them. But anyway, I'm getting off track again. Filing your UCC1 financing statement with a copy of your birth certificate, and your trade name, your trade name agreement. Okay, let's see. One thing you really need to put on your UCC1 financing statement, you must put the hospital where you were born and the address for the debtor. This is when the corporation was created by the state, and it's impossible. And it's very important too that you list all the contracts that you signed for your straw man, like your driver's license, your Social Security card, marriage license, passport, anything you can think of, list it. And that's basically it. And then another thing you can do is you want to reserve a number for your Treasury posted registered account. And this account will be set up at the U.S. Department of Treasury with a private man entitled, or woman entitled, the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury. It's really important that you refer to that person's name, because you cannot deal with a fiction while you're in a private venue.